Welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. Help support my channel. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers pretty much as soon as possible. So then I go live streaming because YouTube policy, they won't let me go live until I have 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to all the folks out there that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you have not yet, please take this moment now with helping me. Click subscribe. Next, click the bell. And next, click all. This helps you receive a notification when I post my next videos. Plus, click the thumbs up button and every time you watch my videos. If you got value from this video, if this was helpful, then please consider sharing a small monetary donation to my channel by going below and clicking on either my Patreon or PayPal links. If you join my Patreon page, then you'll get early access to these videos 24 hours before they're posted on the YouTube and lots more. If you prefer just leaving a small tip, click on PayPal. Either way, then you get that warm sense of satisfaction years down the line knowing that you helped me become a successful YouTuber.
Tuesday, December 20th, 5:39 p.m. New York time. The U.S. stock markets close and the U.S. futures markets close. This podcast I'm going to make will show you, or we're going to identify if we're still inside the weekly range, meaning if we did not take out the higher low of last week. If we took it out, are we trending up or trending down? Potential trade signals have just occurred. Stay tuned. We'll first start looking at the equity indexes, the main stock indexes. S&P 500. We broke down the low of last week, lower low, lower high. The trend is down. Yep, broke below it. And now we're in a retracement mode. Here, this trend up, we're in a retracement mode down. And we're at the midpoint, 50% level from the top to the bottom. Again, that was a trade signal to be short when you broke below there. NASDAQ 100, same thing, broke below. Dow Jones also broke below. The Dow Transports also broke below. Also, is a solid body. You don't have a little tail on the bottom, so it's more bearish than the other ones. The Dow Utilities, inside candle. Yeah, defensive stocks, paying high dividends. People typically gravitate, want to hold these kind of stocks when they think growth is going to slow and they still want to make sure they receive some kind of income with dividends. So again, that's signaling here because it didn't break below those holders here. Again, the end of the week's not over yet. This weekly candle's not done yet, but it's showing us pretty good what's already happening. Russell 2000 broke below the low of last week. So right off the bat, all these stock indexes, if you look at the current candle, they're all shaded in, dark. Even this inside candle, dark. That's equivalent to a red. So they're across the board bearish. And the only one that didn't break the low of last week was what? The Dow Utilities. Go on to the next. Look at the U.S. Treasuries. We'll go from the highest duration to the lowest. 30-year U.S. Treasury bond also broke below the low of last week. So typically when these treasuries go lower, the inverse yields go higher, interest rates go higher. And we know the Fed just raised interest rates. What, last week was it? Now looking at the 10-year U.S. Treasury. Yep, also almost a solid body, broke below there. Again, trade signal. This is one of the best ones to be trading. Has the most liquidity. 10-year U.S. Treasury. And the 5-year U.S. Treasury note. Inside candle. So the shorter duration Treasury still inside. And let's look at the real shorter one. The 2-year one also. Look at that. So right off the bat, I showed you this 30-year, 10-year. They broke below the low where the shorter duration has not. Let's go on to the next. Let's look at the U.S. dollar, the mighty king U.S. dollar. Inside candle for the week. It's in this demand zone. Sorry, it's in the supply zone of buyers and still hanging in there. Interesting. And Bitcoin broke below the low of last week. Yeah, it's a green candle, but again, it broke below the low of last week. And last week, pin bar, a bearish pin bar right there. So the US dollar here, I'm watching for a trade opportunity, potential retracement to go higher, or potential reversal, because this last week candle here, long tail, the bottom of a trend, long tail, like a bullish pin bar, an inside candle, maybe the buyers are getting ready to step in. Sometimes we have bullish US dollar into the holidays. Okay, let's look at the major currencies in the US dollar index. Top three, if you don't know. First one being the euro. Look at that, inside candle, indecision. Top of a trend, inside candle, potential reversal to go lower. And this is the majority, the US dollar index, majority of it is weighted toward the euro. They trade inverse. Japanese yen broke above the high of last week. Huge trading range already. Yeah, just in the first 2 days of the week. Huge trading range. Tested and broke above this supply area. Huge trading range. Coming to midpoint. Again, the week hasn't over yet, so this candle's not done yet. But again, fast traders, traders that are observant, traders that are paying attention, situation awareness, you could have taken this trade earlier. And the British pound, same thing. Look at that. Broke below the low of last week. Look at that bearish pin bar up there. Again, it's selling off. Canadian dollar. So it made a lower low and back inside the range. Interesting. Still, the trend is down. Look, it's been trending out earlier. Swiss franc, new high, broke above the high of last week. Makes sense. Defensive stocks. US dollar, Japanese yen, Swiss franc are the top three safe haven currencies. Doesn't mean they're necessarily all going to go up, but typically when people want to be in safe haven currencies, they gravitate towards one of those three: US dollar, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, and the Australian dollar trending down. So let's zoom in all these 6 major currencies and look at the past 2 weeks to identify. So again, the euro, inside candle, Japanese yen, new high, British pound broke below, Canadian dollar broke below, Swiss franc higher, and Australian dollar lower. Again, the US dollar itself, I just showed you, was an inside candle. So we already see earlier ahead, British pound has already been reversed. Australian dollar been reversed. Let's go on to the next. Gonna look at the commodities, energy commodities. First, crude oil on the left, 2 weeks inside candles. Yep, inside candle, having broke out the high or low last week, and the prior week inside candle. So again, typically when the US dollar gets stronger, commodities get weaker. Commodities get cheaper. Yeah, so this is weak. Might, again, huge downward candle in consolidation, like a bearish pin bar. So this may eventually roll over and break lower. For crude oil, might go lower. Natural gas didn't hesitate. It broke below the low of last week. This red candle broke below it, and also broke below that prior week inside this key demand zone. So that's sold off even harder. We might again see the same thing happen here in crude oil. Let's look at the next commodity, metals. First, we'll look at gold. Inside candle for the week. Big divergency here. First, we got a trend up. Past 2 red candles, small little bodies. Big wicks, top, bottom, like dodgy candles, dragonflies. Up here, very suspicious. Now we got inside candle. So, typically you see the Japanese yen and gold have a correlation. Well, it's the opposite here. The gold is inside the range of last week, the top of a trend. Suspicious. One would expect this may decline and sell off. Yeah. So again, safe haven flight is not into the gold. Let's look at some more metals. Silver, new high, broke above the high of last week. And platinum broke below the low of last week. Again, it looks like there's more distribution here. And copper broke below the low. So takeaway is, overall, the metal sector is still looking bearish. Retracement. Again, dollar go higher, we might see these sell off even more. And let's finish this up by looking at agricultural grains and livestock. Corn broke below the low of last week. Yep. See that? Went below a little bit. Wheat futures, inside candle. It's very close to the lows of the year. And soybean futures, 2 weeks in a row, inside candles. Very suspicious. But again, building, consolidation, breakup, consolidation, breakup, staircase pattern, higher high. Yep. There we go. So finishes off live cattle futures, inside candle for the week. Let's take that away because last week did make a new high up there. Let's take that away. So you see these two red candles, small little bodies, high wicks, these red ones, bottoms to top. What other symbol, financial instrument did I just show you looks similar to that on top of a trend, an inside candle? That's a clue. Watch the back of the video I just showed you, has similar appearance. Feeder cattle broke below, lower low. Yeah. And lean hog broke above, higher high. So let's zoom in on each of these. Look at those two last candles. Quite a bit of few inside candles. Look at that. 3 of them inside candles. Yep. Still weak. Again, we've got to watch that dollar, see what happens. Many thanks for watching. Thank you, as always, for spending just a little bit of your time with me. If you've gotten value from this video, if this was helpful, then please consider sharing a small monetary donation to my channel by going below and clicking on my PayPal or Venmo. You can leave a small tip. If you don't want to share financial support, no problem. Just click the like and subscribe and leave a comment, please.